Hey everyone, it's Kristi and Terry over here.
Hey,
Just
everybody.
we are coming at you today to talk about the process of buying a home, or actually, it's not buying a home; it's selling a home.
So we wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about are you even thinking about selling? Is now a good time to sell? What do you need to do to get your home ready to sell? And one of the things we want to talk about is right now a good time to sell? And so we're talking to everybody who's been in Santan for just a little bit. So I've lived in Santan for almost 5 years. I wanted to lay out just the scenario of my home. So I bought my home four years ago for about 200,000. A little bit of a fixer upper. I've done a bunch of work to it, different things to the home that would add value to the home. Well, I just sold in my neighborhood a like model. I remember I bought my home 5 years ago for 200,000. I just sold a like model without a pool, because I have a pool, for 305, and it appraised. And so what does that mean for me? In a short period of time, in 5 years, my home went from 200,000 to 305, but I've got a pool. Very equal upgrades in the two homes. So if you were to add the 15,000 for the pool, 10 to 15,000, I'd be right near 320,000 for my home I bought 5 years ago. So right now is a really good time to sell your home, because you're going to have equity in your home if you've lived in Santan. If you've lived there 2 years, Santan over the past 2 years literally has gone up about 10% per year. So when you look at Santan, if you bought your home for 200,000 just 2 years ago, you're going to have 200. Your home's probably worth 240.
Well, let's talk a little bit about inventory, because I remember when you bought your home, we had quite a few options. What's the scenario right now in terms of inventory for people that are looking to buy a home, and how does that relate, if I'm thinking of selling my home?
So what's interesting right now, inventory is really low. It is really low. And so I've been doing searches for clients in Santan all the time, and we have to be ready the minute something goes live. When something goes live, I go right there. If it matches my clients, I'm there doing a video showing if they're at work, because that home's going to go fast. The best homes go really quick. Inventory again is super low. So what that means is everybody's got an eye and then they're looking out. So if your house matches what they want, they're going to be there right away.
Yeah. That brings up another good point. So when you guys bought, what was the interest rate when you guys purchased your home?
It was almost 5%.
Okay, so it was almost 5%. And what are interest rates right now, and how does that impact a buyer?
So literally interest rates right now, they're 3.5 and below. So that's historically low. I mean, I'll share a quick story with you. The first home I bought was in 1999, and our interest rate was 9%. And we thought that was low, because my parents, when they bought their home in the 80s, their interest rate was 12%. And so when I saw that mine was 9 when I first bought my home, I was like, oh yeah, score. And then when I bought this house, it was 5. I was like, yeah, score. And then when I refinanced, it was 3.265 or something. And I'm like, whoa, it is unbelievably the ability to purchase your home at a lower interest rate. You can actually buy more of a house.
Yeah. So, what that means to everybody out there that's thinking about selling their home is the fact that money is cheap, right? Buyers can qualify for more home. So, exactly. And we're going to talk about home values, as you just mentioned with your personal home, how much it's increased just since you purchased it. But before we do that, let's talk about showings, because that's a question that I've been getting quite a bit. A lot of buyers have been coming in and saying, hey, with everything that's going on, with COVID-19 and things like that, is the market slowed down? What does it look like right now?
What's interesting about the COVID-19, so real estate has not been shut down. Lenders got a little bogged down with people the transition of getting everybody working from home, people coming back. They didn't have enough people that were currently ready. So lending got a little bogged down during there, but showing wise, we dipped just a little bit in Santan, not a ton. I mean, homes were still flying off the shelf, and builders can't build the homes fast enough. I mean, literally 4 or 5 builders are like 6, 7, 8 months out. D.R. Horton Express, which their homes are usually ready in 90 days, are now 6 months out. because they can't build them fast enough to have them ready in 90 days. Because they usually build some specs and then they don't actually list them for sale until they're 90 days out. But they're now selling lots because so many people are trying to buy a home, they're selling lots.
So basically that means that, there is a lot of new builds, but many people can't wait for new construction, so they're going to resell.
Exactly. I mean, when I moved here to Arizona from New Mexico, we moved here, we sold our house there, and we were coming here. We didn't have 6 months, and we didn't want to pay the rental rate of a 6-month lease to purchase a home. So a ton of people want to come here. They don't want to rent for 6 months. They just want to purchase a home and move in. And so they're going resell. And there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of things. When you buy a brand new home, it's white and you have to paint. There's still things you have to do. It's not just move in, turnkey, ready, and you have your beautiful pink baby's room. It doesn't happen that way. You got to paint it.
So let's talk real quick about equity, because I know that there are many options when people want to go and sell their home. They can meet with a traditional real estate agent like you and myself or someone on our team. But then I also know specifically in your area, there's been a lot of new, open door offer pads, some of these what we call iBuyers. And with all the equity that people are sitting in the Santan Valley area, talk to me about iBuyers and what does that mean if I'm thinking of selling my home to an iBuyer versus working with a traditional real estate agent?
The hard part with an iBuyer, you get convenience. I can't compete with the convenience. The convenience of never having to have your home shown, never having to worry about your home closing on time or not. I can't compete with that, because the big thing is the iBuyers, they charge you more money so that they can close on a specific day for you. And that convenience costs. The average iBuyer, it's 10%, and then you're still paying your own closing costs. And so, and the traditional is 6% on the listing side. And so literally there's 4% you can flush. If you're selling a $300,000 house, 4% is 13 grand. I mean, to me, 13 grand means a little bit. I'm just not willing just to lose it. And so I'm willing to deal with a couple showings, deal with those things to keep that in my pocket.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk then about, I'm thinking about selling my home, and, what do I need to do to prep? Like, what are the things that I can do to really, get the most out of my home?
The number one thing that I would say that you need to make sure that you do is deferred maintenance. There can't be any deferred maintenance. I remember one of my clients and I, we were walking up to the home. I unlocked the door, and as my buyer went in and grabbed the door handle, and it was loose. Literally, it moved about a 1/4 inch away from the door, and we didn't even enter the home. Because he's like, hey, if he's not even going to maintenance his doorknob, I don't even know what the rest of the house is going to be like. Let's leave. We didn't even go in. So the biggest thing is deferred maintenance. You need to make sure, look up at your air filters, that they're not dirty. Because if they're super dirty and haven't been changed in a year, they're going to be like, oh, no, I'm not buying this house. The air conditioner's filthy. So simple things, simple things. Go around, tighten all your doorknobs. Go around and do a few things. Make sure your front yard looks good. There's no weeds, all that kind of stuff. Because just making it look like there's no deferred maintenance, they think you've taken care of your home, even if you haven't done a really good job at it. They think you have. Because
appearances matter. Yeah, appearances absolutely matter. First impressions matter.
Yep.
I noticed
another big thing is like the curb appeal.
Go ahead.
So the next big thing is literally curb appeal. Curb appeal. When you pull up to the home, if the home looks good, they're going to think you're doing well taking care of the home. When they walk in and it's not cluttered everywhere. When we sold our house in New Mexico, we have 5 kids, by the way, and we were living in a 1,400 square foot home. And so we had so much stuff with our 5 kids, it just wasn't going to show well. And so at that point, I wasn't in real estate. We met with our agent, and she said, you guys got to get rid of some of this stuff. And so we took half of what we had, and we took all of our random stuff in the garage, all of our different things, and we put it in a storage unit. So when people came and looked at our home, they could literally imagine themselves living in the home. Now, we didn't take all our family pictures off the wall, We left a family picture. We left a few things that made it look like we still did live there, but people could walk through our home and imagine themselves in our home. And so it made it so it was decluttered. It looked like what they would want to see. When they walk through a builder's home, when you walk through a new build home, there's still beds, there's still sheets. They put up pictures on the wall. There's plates and different things out. We stage homes. We do that for nothing. So if you were to walk out and leave the home vacant, we come in and we put towels in the bathrooms. We put in plates on the bars, and we have bar stools that we put in because it makes the home homey. And that's what you've got to do, is make the home feel homey. And then when they come in and look at it, they can imagine themselves there.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that a lot of people ask me, actually, Meryl and I went on 2 listing appointments this past weekend, and we fielded both of these questions. So, aside from deferred maintenance, aside from cleaning and just, decluttering and depersonalizing and doing all of that, let's say that I do have some money and I want to put some, I want to do some things in my house. What should I be doing to get the biggest bang for my buck?
So the biggest thing is paint and carpet. If your home needs painted on the inside or the outside, get it painted. You're going to get that money back. Carpet as well, because brand new carpet, people, they may want tile, they may want other stuff, but it's brand new carpet. They're going to be like, hey, we can live with this brand new carpet for a while. They love the brand new carpet. Yard, just get the yard maintenance. Get a cleanup that's not very expensive. Get a yard cleanup guy to come in and just clean the whole backyard, because I've seen homes that didn't sell the first couple showings. The yard got cleaned, boom, it sold. And so get the yard cleaned, clean the house. Another thing you could do that literally makes an impact in their upgrades on the home that actually make an impact is doorknobs. Go through the house, get rid of all the old gold doorknobs, put on regular nice doorknobs that's in fashion right now, the brushed bronze or another kind of doorknob that just updates the home. But there's also a bunch of upgrades that you can do that bring value to your home, but they don't pay you back. There's a ton of those upgrades. Like you could put granite countertops in. It's going to cost you $5,000 to $10,000 to put granite countertops in, but you only get $5,000 on the appraisal. So it did add value to your home, but not enough to pay you back. One of the worst ones you can do if you want to sell your home and you're like, well, we thought we'd put in a pool because everybody loves pools. Well, in Santana, pool's worth about $15,000, but the basic pool costs you about $30,000 to put in. So it's not worth the cost of putting in a pool. And there's a lot of upgrades that are like that. And so just we want to visit with you and go over the different things. Like if you have bad countertops and your countertops are ruined and you need new countertops, yeah, put in granite, because that just appeals to more people. But if you have really, really nice Formica countertops and your house is beautiful, when someone walks in your home and looks at your beautiful home with Formica, but then they walk into somewhere that has granite countertops, but they've got bad carpet, bad paint, bad backyard, everything's filthy, they're going to buy your house over that granite countertop house. And so we need to make sure that you guys are doing the upgrades that really brings value to your home.
Now, another question that I get a lot is if someone is considering selling and they want to put solar panels on their house.
If you're looking to put solar panels on your house just to sell, I would recommend you don't do it, because the worst part about it is, let's say you do a solar lease and they come in to purchase your home. They now have to qualify for the loan to purchase your home and qualify for the loan to lease the panels or the loan to buy the panels. But it makes their debt to income ratio go up so they can buy less of a home. So it does lease solar panels used to add value to your home. They don't anymore. I mean, they don't let appraisers put value on your home for leased panels. And so it brings absolutely no value to an appraisal of your home. Now, if you own the solar panels, it does add value to your home, but not enough to offset the cost.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, a lot of times people, when I'm asking them, okay, what have you done to your home to, help you get prepared to sell and, any type of upgrades. And a lot of times people will talk to me about like water heaters and air conditioners. How, if I'm in my house and my air conditioner works, but it's older, should I replace it before selling my home?
Absolutely not. If your air conditioner works and it's serviced and it's working properly, don't replace it. Because the big thing is an appraiser expects you to have a working air conditioner. An appraiser expects you to have a working water heater, have a working stove, have a working microwave, have a working, all the appliances are expected to work. So the big thing is when the appraiser walks in, he's not going to care if you have a new water heater or not. He's not going to care. It's not going to add value to your home. Now, the client, the buyer walking through might go, hey, it's got a new air conditioner. I really like that. The end. That's all you're going to get. You're going to get no extra cash. So if your old air conditioner is working, let it ride. And you might be able to negotiate with them that, oh, you want a new air conditioner installed? I'm only going to pay a quarter of it. You get the rest of it. And so the buyer is going to probably absorb way, way more cost than you did by just replacing it.
So at the end of the day, it doesn't really, everybody expects to have working appliances like an air conditioner, but it doesn't necessarily increase the value of your home. It just might make you more competitive with some of the other homes on the market.
Exactly. So if it came time for them to looking at an exact home like yours, and it's a 14-year-old and yours is brand new, they're probably going to pick yours. But no guarantees with that either.
So I think this brings us to our next slide, which is what's the very first step that you should take before you start making upgrades in your house?
I really think you should have a professional on your side. Sit down with a couple agents and visit with them. I'm not saying you got to use me when you sell your home. What I'm saying is please interview a couple agents, because there's agents out there. I'm going to share some stats with you real quick. There's 50,000 agents in the Phoenix Valley. Only 50% of them are going to sell a home this year. Only 50% are going to sell one home. And of the 50% that sell a home, on average, they sell four homes. Let's make sure these agents aren't practicing on you. So you need to interview a couple agents so that you've got someone who's a professional and they're not getting their practice on you. Because if you get an agent who's practicing on you and a VA loan comes in, they're going to tell you, oh, wait. A VA loan means you have to pay more money. But they don't explain to you, hey, a VA loan just says on escrow, they can't pay these couple fees, and that has to come out of the equity of your home, which it's not a ton of money. It's like $500. And so if they're offering $500 more than someone else, the VA is even. And so an agent who's just practicing doesn't know how to communicate in a way that explains every principle of the contract to you.
That makes a lot of sense. So first step, definitely meet with, a professional realtor who's got a history of success and knows what they're doing. But then what happens next?
So one of the big things you want to do is with the agents you meet with, get a complimentary home evaluation so that you see, what do you think my home is worth and what does it compare to my neighborhood? Where am I? And so they should be able to tell you the listings that are in your neighborhood. They should be able to go through and let you know where you rank, what the other homes have. They're going to be able to say, hey, this one is granite, this one is laminate, this is new carpet, old carpet. They should be able to tell you all those different things. So when you sit down with them, they're going through and saying, hey, this one was priced here. This is why it was priced here. This is your home. This is where we need to price it. Because everybody wants their home to sell for the most. Mm-hmm. But realistically, not every home is capable to sell for the most. Now,
so basically, we need somebody that's going to tell us the truth, right? We need someone that'll give us transparent communication. Don't tell us what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear and prepare me to, be able to deal with that.
You're exactly right. Because you can literally list a home for whatever value you want, but you can sit on the market for 6 years as well. You need someone who's going to be honest with you and say, hey, you want your home to sell, you want it to sell quickly. This is where we need to list it at. And this is the experience. And this is why I know this. Because an appraiser, the big thing about an appraiser, they go out a mile first, 1 mile from your home, and they search. If your neighborhood's smaller than a square mile, they look in your neighborhood first. And if they find 5 comps in your neighborhood, they're not going outside of your home. They're not going outside of your neighborhood. But if there's less than 5, they start going further out and looking at other neighborhoods. The agent should understand how an appraiser appraises homes. So he doesn't reach 6 miles away and say, hey, we're going to appraise to this home, because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
The other part about this is you need to have a selling agent who has a strategy. How is he going to sell your home? What is he going to do? Or she, he or she, we'll say agent, an agent with a strategy. So that agent, what are they going to do? How are they going to market your home? Are they going to be one of those agents that just drops a sign in the yard? We call them farmers. They put a sign in the yard and they just sit and wait. At the Big Helper team, that's not who we are. We're hunter-gatherers. So we also farm. We put a sign in the yard, but then we call your neighborhood. We know right now we don't, because we can't. We door knock neighborhoods and we talk and we visit with your neighbors. We give them the opportunity. Hey, do you know anyone in the neighborhood who's looking to move in? You can pick your neighbor. And so the big thing with that is we find more and more people that literally will buy your home that way. And it's happened many times. I've door knocked and a friend has moved in.
Yeah, there's so many different things. I think it's important when we talk about strategy, there's a lot of different strategies to use. It's not just the marketing strategy, which, we here at the Big Helper team, we always say we will not be out marketed. That's one of our specialties is marketing homes. But it's also this, it's not just getting the home on the market and for sale, because where's all the money lost after you go under contract?
Yep. Well,
it's through negotiation.
Exactly. The negotiation side, you need an expert negotiator, because as you're negotiating and going through the process, you need someone who knows how to negotiate. The biggest thing about their strategy is they need to have professional pictures. When they're selling the home, they need professional pictures, because I am not a professional photographer. I am not. Like, we have a professional photographer that's on our staff, and it makes a huge difference because he's able to go into the home and get back and look at the home at the precise angle to make the room look the best. So you can see everything, because there's too many people who walk into a bathroom, take a picture, and you just see them in the mirror. You don't see anything else. And so the best thing about it was when you have a professional, they're taking pictures. A lot of people don't have twilight photos who could really use them. And if you don't know what a twilight photo is, it's literally it just makes the home just shock value go through the roof. And you get if your home's good for it, you take a picture right at twilight, you have all the lights on, and it just causes people to really look at the home and say, hey, I want to see that home. And they click through the rest of the photos. Because what's interesting is the attention span of a human being is literally less than the attention span of a goldfish on the internet. So literally, we've got to catch them right away. And if we can catch them right away, they take a few seconds and look through the pictures, and then they like the home.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So Terry, what's the best way for people, if I'm in the Santan, Queen Creek area, or anywhere in the East Valley for that matter, and I'm thinking about selling my home, how should I get a hold of you?
Well, one of the good ways is to text me. My number is 480-868-0572, or you can email me at terry@bighelpergroup.com and just reach out and say, hey, I would love a free complimentary home evaluation. So I can come to your home and share with you what your home is worth. I'll go through all the other listings in your neighborhood and make sure that you know what your home is worth. Because I'm not going to deceive you. I'm going to tell you what I think it's going to go for, and I will be 100% honest with you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, any other words for, our viewers out here who are thinking that, they're on the fence thinking about selling?
Really think about why you want to sell. If you're looking to sell, to move out of state, and you've got to sell, take the time to meet with a professional. Because here's the thing, if you were even considering an iBuyer, if you really are considering one, have an agent reach out to that iBuyer for you. Because the big thing about that is that iBuyer now knows the value of your home, and they'll put their best foot forward. If you're even thinking about using OfferPad or Zillow or any of the iBuyers that are out there, Open Door, talk to an agent first. Have them reach out and get the offer for you, because they don't pay any less to you. They don't do that. They just know the value, the value of your home. So their offer they give you is going to be better.
Yeah. And then you have somebody that's, negotiating on your behalf as well.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign out and leave your information up here on the top.
All right. Everybody have a good day.